first and foremost, what we need to do is find a dealership that can handle the cars that we can sell them. Most of the time, when you drive around your town, you're going to see a high-end dealership and you're going to admire the cars on the lot, but I need you to shift your thinking to think that this dealership can most likely handle almost any car I send them if it's the right price. So we're going to have to aim to work with these dealerships. And not that there's anything wrong with working with dealers that are a bit less established. It's just that they will limit you in terms of how much cars you can buy, because obviously they have a limited budget. But if you work with a company that has a much larger budget, you are going to be capped at just how much cars you can actually send them based on how much work you put in and not on how many cars they can handle, if that makes sense. So I'm going to mainly focus on the commission-based pay, because if you're doing a finder's fee, then I think there is no problem with working with the lower end dealership, and that is because they're going to pay you a fixed fee. And if you even buy them the less expensive cars, it's probably easier for you, number one, to buy them and easier for you to find them, and number two, it's not going to be that hard for them to pay you $200-$300 finder fee per car, because you really don't want to be working on a commission basis with a company that when you find a good deal on a Lamborghini and you send it to them, they tell you, well, we can't afford it at this time, unfortunately. So you want to focus on finding a dealership that can handle any car you can send them, because you just don't want anything to cap how much you can potentially earn. Now, how do you approach a dealership and tell them that, hey, I want to work with you guys? Well, the easiest way to sell this is by telling them, hey, I would like to start finding cars for you. And with this, there is absolutely no risk for you guys. The only time I make money is if you guys make money. This is like offering them free money, and it's an offer that they would probably feel stupid saying no to, because if I offer you $10,000, all you have to do is pay me $1,000 for you to get the 10. You would probably pay that without even thinking. So that's how you would sell it. You would offer them that this has absolutely no risk for them. Only time you get paid is when they get paid, and the way that you're going to get paid is a percentage of the profits or a percentage of the sale of a certain car that you're going to be sending them. Now, if you try your luck with one dealership and they say no, it's no problem. You just keep trying until eventually you find a dealership that wants your services, and you'd be surprised how many would say yes, because think about it. All of them need cars to sell, and if they have one more source that can find them cars, and if you actually know what you're doing, which you will after watching this training, then it's a no-brainer. They will want you to work with them. One bonus tip I'd like to mention, which will further emphasize why it's important to work with high-end dealers with good reputations, is number one, apart from being able to handle the volume, in the beginning, volume would probably not be a big issue because you're just learning and you're learning how to buy more and more cars. This will probably become an issue when you're buying 20, 30, 40 cars a month. But in the beginning, it's probably not going to be an issue. But what you really want is for the seller who's selling you his car, or selling the dealership the car, to have an amazing experience working with that dealership. So you don't want them to work with you and you point them to the dealership, they go to the dealership and have a horrible experience, because they would never want to work with you anymore. But if the flip side of this, if they go to the dealership and they're treated amazingly, well, the next time he's gonna want to sell his car or buy a car, he will more than likely reach out to you. And another point is that you want to work with a dealership that is here to stay. Not that there's a problem with if a dealer decides to not work in the business anymore, you can always find another dealer, but it's better to work with a dealership and grow with them, because they'll trust you more, you'll learn how to work with them properly, and you will be more in sync as opposed to jumping between dealership and another.